Welcome back to No Control. Well, what's on the bench today? Well, I can't leave well enough alone, and I went out and I purchased a brushless system for my Associated MT12. It just didn't quite have the power and pop that I wanted it to have with the factory 380 can brushed motor in it. So we're going to try to work a brushless system into this. There is a few little quirky things because the motor in this thing's a little funky. Thankfully, RC Amigos reached out to me and said, hey, if you're going to do a brushless system, watch out. The motors have a really long shaft on them, and they're hard to find ones that'll actually fit in there. If you guys aren't watching his channel, you should definitely check it out. That's RC Amigos. Great stuff. But I got a kit that I think will work, so we're going to give it a try. You'll see me tearing it apart and hopefully working in the new brushless system. There's a few things I know I need to change. There's probably some little other hiccups I'll come across. But I figured you guys might as well check it out. These trucks are out new. A lot of you might get them and say, I wish I had a little more power. And you can't run a 3S battery on the stock motor. It will just smoke it. So if you really want more power, this might be the route you have to go. So enough talking. Let's dig into this and get this going. So what we're going to do first is we're going to pull the top plate off here. Just these 4 screws. Super easy. Just like this. So these trucks are pretty cool. They're a little light on the power. So this system should really liven it up, but I'm sure we will end up destroying something with it because this truck's not designed to handle this type of power. So, we'll put it in and see what we got. So there's a spacer there. And get one here. When you're taking stuff apart for the first time, never hurts to have your manual handy because, you get ahead of yourself, you take something apart, and all of a sudden, hey, where did that go? Which direction did that go in? It's very easy to do, but usually if you flip through the manuals, they do a very good job of breaking down stuff. Especially the Associated and any of the kits where you have to build anything yourself, definitely will have it. But for the most part, they all give you pretty good parts breakdowns and all that good stuff. It's a tool for you to use, and don't be afraid to use it. So there's that. You can actually see here, he's right, that is a really long and narrow motor shaft on there. Can we take the whole motor plate off? We might be able to. So there's one. And as you can see, we're getting the bolts underneath. I want to take the whole motor plate assembly off. Right there, we just lost that. See what I'm talking about? That fell out. Now we may need to know where things go. If you can't figure it out, that's what the manual's for. But I'm going to say these go like so because I saw it and I remember. So I'm going to put it right back in right now. So if you take this motor plate off, this little 380 can motor, which is fun in this, it's just, I don't know, I can't leave well enough alone and I want more power. You'll have that. So as you can see here, the really long shaft he's talking about, because that actually comes out right to the end. So that is, I'm going to guess 15 or 16 long. It's long. Let's check it. Looks to be 16 millimeters long. That is a long shaft, and it's narrow, it's small. So I couldn't find a brushless setup with this long of a shaft in this diameter. So what I did was I found the closest one I could find, which is this Surpass hobby kit, which has a shaft almost the same length. It's close, one's 15, one's 16, but it does have a thicker shaft on it, so I had to buy a whole pinion kit setup. So I'm going to find the one that matches this one the best. We're going to try to make it all work. Looks like our first hurdle here is these bolts are actually a bigger size than the ones that come with our motor plate here. So we're going to have to hog these out to reach this size. Now, some people might not want to do this, but this is a brand new truck and I know I can get pieces for it. So I don't mind doing this. And I may just pick up a spare one of these that's factory, or somebody might come out with an aluminum one over time and we'll get one to replace this one. That's not that big of a deal to me. So we're actually gonna, it's pretty soft plastic, so that's pretty easy to do. This is the harder one because it's one where you're supposed to get all your adjustment in. So you got to make it bigger and more than just one hole. I've done a lot of this stuff over the years, so sometimes you just got to dive in and do stuff. All right. So this went what? This way? Nope, it goes this way. So right there, holds in that pin. So there. So now we got to get some bigger bolts. I'll have to go to the drawer. I know I have spare stuff. Now we're not going to Loctite anything. I'm going to go and I'm going to snug everything up. Keep stuff semi-loose so you can make adjustments, move stuff around as needed. When you make sure it all fits and you got a good layout, then you can go back and Loctite everything. All right, I rifled through all of my stuff, my parts bins. I found a pinion gear that will work. You can order sets on Amazon, eBay, whatever. It's good to have a variety of different size, pitches, and teeth count, and everything else that you could possibly think of hanging around if you're really into the hobby. So we're going to reassemble this here. Now see here, the pinion's a little bigger than the one that came off from it. So we're actually getting a binding action. It's way too tight. So we're going to take this motor plate back off and actually re-clearance that hole so we have more adjustability in it to make this work. Now, as I can see, that's not enough. It's always better to take a little bit and go back and take more rather than take way too much and mess up your piece, because it's plastic and it's a lot harder to add material to it than it is to take it away. One of these needle file kits will be your friend on these RC vehicles for sure. All right, is the third time the charm? Did we get it right this time? Looks like we're a heck of a lot closer. All right, let's cinch it down and see where we stand. This should make it through undestroyed. Now, you can see lines in it, but you see it didn't actually cut through. That's actually how I adjust my pinion depth. I don't know how you guys do it. Just a simple trick that I learned way back when, and I always do it to make sure at least a piece of paper passes through. The bigger ones, you can, fold it over to double it up to make sure that it's got a little bit more play when you get to the big mod gears and stuff. But for this size, we're going to run with that right now, and we're going to see how that works. Now let's put the rest of this back together and get a battery run through this thing. reassemble all the stuff you disassembled, just in reverse. Easy peasy on that stuff, right? Right. But we'll see once it's all together. And got some power running through it. I have a feeling we're going to break some stuff because this truck was clearly designed for a brushed setup with low power. I mean, the truck had very little punch. You could do a backflip, but you had to get a really good running head start. And let's face it, guys, with a monster truck, is that what we're really looking for? No, we want power, even in our small scale stuff. That's why all you guys run out and put those brushless systems, the Firkin things, in your 24 scale trucks that you build the monster trucks there out of the crawlers. Now it does have these spacers, so the taller one goes in the back, the shorter one goes in the front. So there's that. This is gone. We'll set it aside. Never know, might need it for something. I normally don't put brush things in things. I just take brush things out of things. But you never know. Never say never. Here on the channel, I'm learning to do new things all the time. So at some point, I may actually take a brushless out of something and put a brush system in it, just because I haven't done it before. I don't know, probably not. That's just crazy talk. More power is always better. Always better. More power, always better. It's pretty simple. That's out. This is out. Put to the side. Got a new one in. ESC here. I mean, if you want to see the size difference, right there. So hopefully the power that comes with this is worth the extra weight and size we're going to be using. Handy roll double-sided tape. Always got to have good double-sided tape. Don't cheese out. Get the good stuff. Going to be holding your electronics and everything else in. So spend a few extra bucks. Make sure it'll stick. Now that I say that, this will probably fall out. That's the way it goes sometimes. All right, so we're going to line that up. We're going to do it. I'm going to do it like this. So we minimize the amount of battery, wire, and engine wires. Make them all clean. I do have some extras. I can probably mount that guy right there. It'll probably work pretty good. I am very curious to see what the first thing that breaks on this is. Now I'm going to wait to take it off the big jump till after we get some footage of it running around doing some other stuff. But rest assured, if it's still in one piece, by the time that I get the footage that I need for you guys in this video, it will be going off the maximum carnage red ramp and see if it survives or not. That's been the tester on most things, to be honest with you. Breaks a lot of stuff. All right, now we got our on-off switch mounted. Now these are wired. These are not color-coded on this. So I'm going to go with the middle's always the middle. And the other two should be all right. All right, well, there's our new ESC and motor brushless system installed in the vehicle. What can I say, guys? I'm very, very curious to see what this is going to do. Now, for reference, this is a 4370 kilovolt motor. We're going to put a battery in this. We're going to test it out. If everything works good, I'll go back and re-Loctite everything. You guys don't need to see that because it's the same exact process, just reversed and then back again. And then we will get this thing out as soon as we can to do a test drive. Well, that was fun while it lasted. The truck had a lot more power, as you see. It wheelie on command, very snappy. Got some dialing in to do with the brushless system. Want to take the automatic brake off and a few other fine details. But before we do all that, I actually got to fix the drive gear here. The pinion actually sheared some of the teeth off from it. I think it was on one of the hard landings. It kind of shocked the system and tore a couple teeth off. Not a big deal. We'll get a new one of those ordered, get it on the way, get it replaced. We'll re-grease this a lot better and maybe even try a smaller pinion gear to see if that helps. But as you can see by the footage, the truck is a whole different animal to drive. We did twist the rear drive shaft out of it, much like I predicted right in the beginning. Pretzel, and it ripped the end off. So I did replace it with a metal one that I had in my parts bin, kicking around. I will say it wasn't an automatic slide right in thing. I had to cut it, grind it. There's a very small pocket here, right here, that the drive shaft end has to fit in, and I had to make some space there, clearance it out. So it's not a plug and play swap by any means. So like always, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Let us know what you want to see.